Good afternoon. This is Reggie, and I am here to present my cyber attack lifecycle resilience presentation. Again, my name is Reginald Jackson, Grand Canyon University. Class is Enterprise Cyber Law and Compliance. The objectives for this assignment are describe steps that should be taken at each level of the eight stages of the cyber kill chain to prevent an attack. Objective 2, identify potential motives that usually satisfy the mission of attackers, i.e., financial gain, brand damage, and system access. And objective number 3, explain how you would apply cybersecurity lifecycles, cybersecurity framework, and methodologies to establish a cybersecurity program that supports an organization's strategic and business initiatives. The cyber kill chain. Cyber kill chain is a model used in cybersecurity that describes the many stages of typical cyber attacks. Organizations can track the progression of the cyber attack using the cyber kill chain in order to better predict and defend against cyber attacks in the future. Regardless of whether the cyber attack is internal or external, each step of the cyber kill chain is connected to a certain kind of behavior. The cyber kill chain was borrowed from the military and refers to the breakdown of an attack's either offensive or defensive structure into a series of distinguishable steps, including target identification, dispatch, decision making, ordering, and target annihilation. The eight stages of the cyber kill chain. The first stage is reconnaissance. Reconnaissance is the first stage of the cyber kill chain and involves researching potential targets before carrying out any penetration testing. The reconnaissance stage may include identifying potential targets, finding their vulnerabilities, discovering which third parties are connected to them and what data they can access, and exploring existing entry points as well as finding new ones. Reconnaissance can take place both online and offline. The second stage is weaponization. Weaponization of the cyber kill chain stage begins after reconnaissance and the attacker has gathered all pertinent information about possible targets, including vulnerabilities. It's the culmination of an attacker's planning uh, is the production of malware that will be utilized against a designated target during the stage, making current tools into new forms of malware or altering them to use in cyber attacks. For example, are examples of weaponization. For instance, to construct a new cyber kill chain tool, thieves make minimal changes to an existing ransomware variation. The third stage is delivery. In the delivery stage, cyber weapons and other cyber kill chain tools are used to infiltrate a target's network and reach users. The delivery may involve sending phishing emails with malware attachments, clickbait subject lines to users. Delivery may also involve breaking into a company's network and infiltrating it using hardware or software weaknesses. The fourth stage is exploitation. Exploitation phase that comes after delivery and weaponization is exploitation. Attackers use the vulnerabilities they have identified in earlier phases of the cyber kill chain during the exploitation stage to further enter a target's network and accomplish their goals. Cyber criminals frequently traverse networks laterally throughout the exploitation procedure to reach other objectives. Occasionally, exploitation may direct attackers to their intended targets if network administrators did not perform their duties exceptionally well to ensure that their network were safe. The next stage is installation. After criminals After cyber criminals have exploited their target vulnerabilities to gain access to a network, they begin the installation of the cyber kill chain. Installation: the target network is being attempted to be infected with malware and other cyber weapons in an effort to seize control of it and steal valuable data. Cyber criminals may use Trojan horses, backdoors, command line interfaces in this step to install malware and other weapons to establish a persistent presence. The next stage is command and control, which we call C2. Cyber criminals would interact with the malware that they have planted on a target's network in the C2 stage of the cyber kill chain to give instructions to what cyber weapons or tools they may have accomplished to so they may accomplish their goals. Command and control. The malware can be used by attackers and the command and control to take over remote control of a device or identity on the target network. The attacker may also attempt to migrate laterally around the network at this time, increasing their access and creating new points of future access. The next stage is actions on objectives. Cybercriminals start this final stage of the cyber kill chain by carrying out the goals of the cyber attack. After creating cyber weapons, installing them on the target network, and seizing control of that network, the goals of cyber criminals differ depending on the cyber attack type. By, but some examples include weaponizing a botnet to disrupt services with a distributed denial of service attack, disseminating malware to steal sensitive data from the target organization, and using ransomware as a means to cyber extortion. And finally, we're looking at monetization. This is the stage in which the cyber criminals kind of reap the rewards of their creative work. Monetization in this stage, the cyber criminal focuses on making money off the attack, either by demanding ransom from the victim or by selling sensitive information like trade secrets or personal information on the dark web. The next stage is, or should I say, the next objective is the potential motives of attackers. Number one is financial gain. One of the primary motivations of a hacker is to gain money by getting it done, and they can do that by uh, different or various methods. They can gain access to bank account investments accounts. They can steal passwords from financial websites. Um, they can transfer assets or use sophisticated spear phishing schemes to trick employees into sending money, or they can launch a ransomware attack against an entire organization. Next, it is corporate espionage. Corporate espionage is a form of cyber attack that is used to gain advantage over a competing organization. Cyber espionage is basically spying on corporate organizations to collect information that may be useful in benefiting of another company. The process involves information gathering techniques such as hacking, computer viruses, and others. By breaking into a company's network, email accounts, or other electronic systems, corporate spies can obtain critical data. The next potential motive of hackers is political motivation. Some cybercriminal organizations target major corporations using their hacking skills. They are typically driven by some form of cause, such as raising awareness of human rights issues or global warming. Political motivation. These groups can claim to be exercising the right to their free speech while also stealing information, but more often than not, they will deploy a distributed denial of service attack to overwhelm the website with too much traffic and make it crash. Next is insider threats. This is probably the hardest one to predict. Individuals with access to vital data and systems, can simply decide to abuse such access, which would be detrimental to the organization. These threats, which might originate from internal employees, vendors, contractors, or partners, are the biggest cybersecurity risk to business. Oftentimes, it's carried out for revenge. However, not all insider threats are intentional. Most are due to carelessness, negligence, or compromised credentials, but the potential impact still presents even if it is unintentional. The next motivation is state actors. Nation states provide funds and support to state sponsored actors. They specifically engage in cybercrime to serve the interests of their country. State actors are well established and organized to carry out some of the most complex threats in cyberspace with the aim of utilizing computers and information and communication networks to gather intelligence on targeted political, military, industrial, or economic targets as well as their opponents. The next is pretty much self-explanatory: recognition and achievement. The sense of accomplishment that comes from breaking into an important systems drives some hackers. While some people may work alone or in teams, some level they want to be acknowledged. Finally, we have cybersecurity framework, methodologies, and lifecycle. Cybersecurity lifecycle, as defined by the National Institute of Standards and Technology (NIST, the cybersecurity framework works five functions: identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover, are built upon components of a framework model. The five roles serve as a backbone for an effective and comprehensive cybersecurity program, serving as a backbone around which additional framework essential pieces are arranged. Cybersecurity framework. The NIST cybersecurity framework assists companies of all sizes in comprehending, managing, and reducing their cybersecurity risks as well as safeguarding their networks and data. The framework is an optional one. It provides a summary of best practices for an organization to use, making decisions about where they spend their money on cybersecurity protection. And finally, cybersecurity methodologies. Methodologies are the information must be gathered before, during, and after implementation of security awareness of your security awareness program, with a structure, a number of checklists, and best practices to help you get it right the first time. The Security Awareness 5-Step Framework offers a step-by-step guidance and maintains a program connected to your organization's objectives. Thank you. And these are the references that were used to find and research all of the content in this presentation. Thank you.